What's up guys, Luke here with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 13 things that you need to give up if you want to be successful. Let's go. So a lot of people ask, what does it take to be successful? A lot of people ask, do I just have it in me? Well, everybody has what it takes to be successful, but the problem is most people won't give up what it takes to be successful. So we're going to be talking about basically 13 things that it takes to be successful, and not all of them are easy. Now, I'm not saying that you need to drop all these things or basically give up all of these things, but if you can somehow give up, say, 10 or more, or let's say you can give up at least 7, it's going to help you to be successful. Because there are successful people that haven't given this stuff up. But if you can give up some of the stuff and then keep doing some of them, you're eventually going to become more successful than you are now. It's really important to basically cut out bad things and just completely drop them. So number one, and a lot of us, have a hard time with us because it's America and fast food and portion sizes are everywhere, is give up on the unhealthy lifestyle. So if you're unhealthy and you're waking up, you're not feeling good, give up the unhealthy lifestyle. Stop eating garbage, stop putting garbage into your body, and you're going to feel a lot better. You got to take care of your body. It's the only body that we get. You can't replace it. Yeah, you can have plastic surgery and everything, but that's not going to make you feel better on the inside. If you keep eating garbage food, eventually you get diabetes, and then you wake up feeling with no energy, and you got to do all kinds of crazy stuff to maintain your life. You don't want to do that. Just give it up. It's hard, but you got to do it. Have a healthy diet, work out at the gym, do something, go for a walk, get outside, something. But that's one of the many things that's really hard in America for people to give up. Obviously, like I said, it's America. There's a lot of out to eats. I mean, it's not easy, but it's one thing that you can give up. And if you do that, it'll make a huge difference just in your whole online business or just, a business owner in general. Whether you have a storefront or you have an online business, it's a huge thing. So the other thing that you got to give up, number 2, is basically you need to give up the kind of like short-term or thinking in the now mindset. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't make quick decisions, but basically you need to do it right. When you think about things, when you want to be successful, a lot of successful people set long-term goals. And obviously you need to set short-term goals to get to there, but you need to have a long-term plan. Basically, having a bunch of short-term goals that lead up to big goals is a really healthy thing. You have to get rid of what's better for the now. You gotta not be afraid to say invest in something and get a return on it, say 6 months to a year, down the road. So giving up short-term mindset is really important. Number 3 is basically give up on playing small. So there's a lot of, different quotes out there, but my favorite one is no risk, no reward. If you want to just play small and play inside the playground and you don't want to go and play outside the box, you're never going to be successful. You're never going to be big. You're too afraid to put up $100, $200, $300, $400 for an online course or some mentorship. You're probably not going to be successful. You're always going to be behind everybody else that was willing to take that risk. I remember back in the day when, I started an online course and, the person that I basically helped form their group with said, oh, don't go do that. You're not going to be successful. Well, I took a risk. I cut them off, went off, and then went out and made over 6 figures with the course. Had I have listened to them and not jumped outside of the box, I would never be where I'm at. Obviously, phone flipping is a great business too. When it comes to that, I basically, got worked up, posted some ads, and ended up flipping some phones. Yeah, I was a little nervous about it. Am I going to get ripped off? Do I know how to do this? No. But I learned, and then, I took some online courses, some online mentorship, and obviously well-rounded myself and have become very successful at a young age. So you can't play small. You got to be willing to take risks. You got to be willing to invest. You just got to go out there and do it. You always got to try and basically, take opportunity and make opportunity for yourself too. The 4th thing on my list is give up on your excuses. Stop making excuses. It's not about the cards that you're dealt. It's about how you play the hand, honestly. Successful people know that they're responsible for their life, and there's no excuses. No matter their starting point or their weaknesses or their past failures, they never give up. And when you realize that you are responsible for what happens next in your life, that's when you begin to feel excited about life and you begin to know that you are in control of your success. And when you do this, it basically, you remove the limits on yourself. You stop making excuses, you remove limits, and you start to grow and you become more successful. You grow personally and professionally. Own your life because basically no one else will. So, don't make excuses. If you're trying to invest in something, Don't say, oh, you don't have the money. Well, cut out drinking, cut out going out to eat, cut out going to the club, cut out whatever you need to make it happen. You just got to do it. Continuing on here, number 5, give up the dead set or fixed mindset. You always need to be willing to change. People with a fixed mindset believe that they're intelligent or their talents are simply fixed traits and that talent alone creates success, but that's completely wrong. Without effort, there is no success. Now, successful people know this because they invest an immense amount of time on a daily basis, basically, to develop a growth mindset. Like myself, I invest a lot of things. I invest tons of time in books, online courses. I have my own Phone Flipping Academy course, and I have hundreds of successful students, but I still take online courses. Sometimes a lot of the courses that I take are not so much about business or teach me how to run a business, but it's just mindset stuff. Or it's, tips on having a successful business. Not teaching myself necessarily how to form a new business or a new business model, but just basically critiquing the skills that I want to develop. It's really important to have an ever-changing mindset. Don't be so dead set on things and be open to change. Be open to listening. Number 6 on my list is basically give up believing in magic. Something is not just going to come into your life and make you an overnight success. Overnight success is basically a myth. And a lot of successful people know that making small, continual improvement, like I said earlier in this video, small goals lead to big change and big goals. And you just need to do that over and over and have, consistency and be persistent. And that basically extra 1% each day is going to add up to 365% at the end of the year. So overnight success probably isn't going to happen. Yeah, sure, it's happened once in a great while for people, or, one-hit wonders in the music industry. But most of us are not musicians, whether we can sing or not. Not going to happen. So we're in an online business, or you have a storefront. Don't, just give up because it didn't just happen overnight. Because most people, it doesn't just happen overnight. Number 7 on my list is give up your perfectionism. You're not perfect. You might think that you know everything, but you actually don't. Chances are there's somebody out there that can teach you a little bit about everything that you thought you knew everything about. So basically, you've got to give that up. So you need to be open to constructive criticism and possibly different methods. Because if you say you think you're perfect and you've been in the phone flipping industry for, say, 2 years now, and you're doing 10, 15K a month, and then you meet somebody like me that's been doing it 7 years, and we talk, and I change your entire perspective on the entire business, but you're not open to change, well, it's not going to work for you because you have this perfectionism about yourself that, well, you're doing everything right, you can't be taught, you do no wrong, and that's the wrong way to go about business. There's always somebody out there that can teach you more about what you're doing. Even myself, sometimes I learn from people. I think I've gotten to the top as far as the top people that I talk to in the phone flipping industry, but every day, such as real estate, where I don't know the top people. I haven't hung out with, top realtors in the world. I learn stuff from people every day when it comes to real estate, rentals, etc. It's very interesting to me still. So make sure that you are open to things. Don't think that, you're perfect. No matter how much you try, you're never going to be perfect. You're always able to learn from somebody. Number 8 on my list is give up multitasking. Now, I don't mean exactly give up multitasking, but basically if you're doing a task that is low priority, like I've mentioned in some of my other time management videos, if you're doing a low priority task, don't multitask it in with something that's high priority. Just focus on the high priority task and then move on, because you're not going to get anywhere when you're focusing on a low priority task and then a high priority task. You have to focus from high priority, knock them out one at a time, and then focus on the low priority. Number 9 on my list is give up your need to control everything. So some things are up to us and some things are not up to us. And basically you gotta, figure out, the difference between the two. So you gotta detach from things you can't control and focus on the ones you can, and know that sometimes the only thing you're able to control is your attitude towards something. So example, I see people all over in the phone flipping industry, they take my course and then they go out and try and make their own course. At first, I used to get kind of upset at this because it was something new to me, but now I don't really care because 1, I can't control it, and 2, eventually everybody will figure out where they learned from, and that, I'm pretty much the original guy that invented the whole phone flipping course thing, and there wasn't even that big of an industry until me and one other guy started something. So, it's not really a big deal, and it goes hand in hand with everything in business. Basically, if something happens in your business, don't dwell on it. Just dwell on the positives, don't focus on the negatives, and boom, just move on. And the faster you do that, the more you are, the more potential you have to be successful. Number 10 on my list is give up on saying yes to things that don't support your goals. So, successful people basically know that in order to accomplish your goals, you have to say no to certain things. So your buddies are like, hey man, come out to the bar, come out to the clubs this weekend, but you've got like 20 things that just sold either to a private buyer on eBay. You got to tell your buddies no. Or, you've got this girlfriend that constantly wants to, go out to the club, go out to the club, go out to the club. Sometimes you just got to say no. Or you got this person that, wants you to lend them $5,000 and you probably know they're not going to pay you back even though you got the money. You got to say no. You just got to say no to things that aren't going to basically keep you on the path to success. Like if you've got a vision up over here that says, I want to be self-employed, I want to be a millionaire, I want to have $100,000 a month in residual income, and, lending somebody $5,000 or going to the clubs are kind of off to the left over here, but your goal's off to the right, you just got to say no to them. You can't go astray. If you go astray for too long, eventually you fall off the mountain and you'll never make it up to that peak or that goal that you have. Number 11 is give up the toxic people. I can't stress this enough. So one of the, biggest quotes out there, and I think that it is the most factual because there's a lot of quotes, they have a lot of good meaning, but this I think is the most important one that I've ever heard in my life when it comes to hanging around people in your network and your net worth. You are the average. It's just like math. Like if you were looking at the average of, say, 4 or 5 numbers, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. People we spend the most time with add up to who we become. So there are people who are less accomplished in their personal and professional life, and there are people who are more accomplished than us. If you spend time with those who are behind you, your average will go down, and with it, also your success. But if you spend time with people who are more accomplished than you, no matter how challenging that might be, you will become more successful. Take a look around you and see if you need to make changes. Me personally, growing up, as I started to become more and more and more successful, I lost so many friends. And I thought they were my friends, but really what was going on is they would stay doing the same thing and I would keep excelling. It's kind of like that kid in class or that guy, if you've ever had a job that just like, boom, he moves up to manager. Now he's store manager. Now he's going to work for corporate and he's going to be, people who basically excel in life and excel at everything, they separate themselves from people, not because they don't have any friends, but because of the fact that they're just on a completely different path in life. And they don't do negativity, they don't do toxic. Now, when somebody comes at you and tells you to knock something off or it's kind of hard on you, that doesn't mean they're toxic. That might be constructive criticism. So you got to know the line between that. But toxic people are people that basically leech off you. They, kind of ruin your life. They drag you down. They're not doing anything. And if you've got friends like that or even people you affiliate with or even family member, you got to get rid of the toxic people because weeds will outgrow a flower. So if you're trying to be a flower, you're trying to be something big, beautiful, bold, yeah, well, guess what? Even though weeds are ugly and small, you get enough of them around you, you're going to suffer and you're going to crumble. You're going to shrivel up and turn into a weed. You're going to end up being nothing. So you got to give up the toxic people. That's something I've done. I've got toxic people in my life, friends, a few family members, not so much family, but just like friends, family members that, they just want to drink, they just want to gamble, they want to do really stupid stuff with their money and their time. And I'm just like, I love you, but I can't be with you. I gotta be away from you. I gotta be on my own path because you are not on the same path as me. Getting to that mountain, that peak of that residual income that I want. Number 12, give up your need to be liked. Guess what? The only way to avoid pissing people off is to do nothing important. Think of yourself as a market, okay? There will be a lot of people who like your market, and there will be a lot of individuals who don't. And no matter what you do, you won't be able to make the entire market like you. So it's natural. You don't even need to justify yourself. The only thing you can do is remain authentic. Improve and provide value every day. And know that growing a number of haters actually means that you are doing important things. Example, I call people out in the phone flipping community all the time. Some people like it, some people don't like it. But guess what? At least I know I'm genuine, I'm authentic, and I know that I have a lot of strong followers. I used to care so much about what people thought about me, but now I care more about what kind of value I can provide people and what the facts are. And that's really all there is to it. When you are changing things, when you are stirring up the industry, when you are shaking things up, when you're making changes, when you are being successful, when you're trying new things, there's going to be people that do not like you. So don't so much focus on what people think of you. Focus on what you know. If you know you're providing value, if you know you're doing a, dang good job, care about that. Focus on yourself and focus on what you can project to people. See, not everybody likes honesty. Not everybody likes transparency. And some people, quite frankly, are just too brainwashed to like your market because they don't think any of it's true when it really is. So don't care so much about that. Obviously, don't go out and just be a jerk to people or anything like that. But you got to kind of stop caring so much about what people are going to think. You got to just tell the truth, remain authentic, and improve and provide value every day. That was a tongue twister. But like I said, growing haters, that is totally natural. It's just part of changing, it's part of being successful. And then number 13, and I've been doing this since I was 17 years old, is give up your dependency on social media and television. Now, naturally, I use social media because I have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, which I post things on that promote my brand, they promote my course, etc. But I actually, and this is probably going to shock a lot of people, I have not had cable television in my home or in my apartment. I had an apartment when I was 17. I moved out of my parents' house. I have not had cable television since I was 17 years old. And I think that's why most people find having a conversation with me that I'm very intellectual and I'm very aware of things, because I only research facts. I don't go off the news, the media. I don't go off of the drama that they're talking about the presidential candidates and politics and all that and blah, blah, blah. I don't have any brain bloat is what I call it. All that stuff you see on TV and all the media and the news, I call that brain bloat. And what it is it's literally like going on to, a website that's unsafe and your computer gets filled full of viruses. That's what I think of general TV for the brain. It's slowing you down. It's like a virus in your brain. And when I got rid of TV at 17, my vision became so much more clear to me. When I wasn't just sitting around at home watching TV doing nothing. That's the other thing. TV actually makes, a lot of people, it turns them into a vegetable. You just sit there and watch TV and you do absolutely nothing with your life. You get so caught up in it that you forget about that residual income peak that we talked about, that goal. So honestly, if you have a big problem with TV, cut it out. So like I said, this is basically 13 things you should give up if you want to be successful. Now, I'm not saying that you have to cut them all out, but if you could cut out, say, 7 of 13 or say 6 of 13, that would be awesome. And I really think that, you're going to see a huge difference in your life in 2019. So that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you got some value from it. And I hope you enjoyed hearing some of my personal experiences behind why I believe in this stuff. So that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.